Good morning. Alright, welcome back everybody. Saturday, November 9th, and I normally don't mention dates, but in this particular case, I know in a couple days from now it'll be Veterans Day here in North America, or at least in the United States. So just want to wish all of my fellow veterans and those currently serving a happy Veterans Day coming up here in just a couple days. So got some good stuff going on today. Wasn't able to get this on camera because a couple of guys showed up yesterday and was able to get the airplane up off her feet and up on jacks. So we're going through, if you look over my shoulder there, the couple of guys are going through the book right now and doing the pre-rig checks for the gear door. We'll go get up close to that here shortly, and so we can get this gear door nice and squared away for us.
So the first thing we did here, I got it all up last night, found the right procedure. So right in here, it gives us each one of these hard points on the gear door. Okay. That's, you just think of the hard point as a bolt, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with hard point 6 here as the first one, and we know that we need to have 0.38 inches worth of shims on that hard point. Okay. So we're gonna come to the, says C-View M. So we're gonna find the picture here, wherever it is. Sometimes these can be a pain in the butt to find. And we're gonna see which one is hard point 6, and then we're gonna make sure we've got those shims in there. All right, that's 0.6, that's 3. All right, so let's get under here. This is always the fun part. Okay, so you're on that one. That's gonna be 0.6. Okay.
There's nothing in there.
There's no shims on it?
There's like one shim and it's not even tight. Like it's.
Okay, so if there's only one shim on it, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So, let's do this.
All right, so as was mentioned before, when we hung this, the strut itself is rigged, has already been pre-rigged as far as track and swing and all that. It's just this door needs to get fit so it's properly up here. And you can see this edge where my finger's running. So the door needs to fit right against this edge. So placement of the door is important, as is where it lands whenever the gear is swung upwards. So that is a big part of what we're doing today, is got to get the door rigged, because we don't want this out of position, because it either will prevent this from closing all the way or it'll protrude, and also not what we want, and it's definitely not rigged per the manual. So that's what we're doing, is going through the manual right now and getting this all set up.
I'm pretty sure
that's while we're down here, I'm gonna go check the tire pressure. Pretty good idea that we're probably taking this wheel off too. You think?
If it's down again, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna need to happen.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's 210 psi.
And it was 230 when you checked it last week?
It was 230, 235 last week. We put 265 in it just before the air show.
Okay. Yeah, that's my vote, is that needs to come back off.
Yep.
So what's your plan? What, 2 at a time?
We're gonna measure 0.38 from here.
Off of these?
Yep, we're gonna stick those here. So if you wanna
Carefully pick them out.
Yes. Why is that? Am I not getting on there? Or is that? Oh, is that 3/8? No way. No way.
Need a 3/8?
No, this is a 3/8. It's a 7/16 and 3/8.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's an AN wrench.
There you go. Perfect. Now it should.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
We'll get this one loose, so we can get our shims in the top one.
It all came together pretty nice with getting the gear back on, so we could get her out and about for the Memorial Day event last year and then the air show.
Glad we got it done the way we did, yeah. I fought this gear door for 3 hours one evening, and I finally then 2 weeks later when I came down, I realized it was the anti-skid sensor the piping or the tubing that the wire goes through was
Yeah, because this is, I think that's the wire for it right here. Right?
yes, yeah, and then it goes down and goes down the back side here. In fact, I can show you right here. This tubing was hanging just about a millimeter into the track here where the gear door engages, and that's what was keeping the gear door from engaging. So I just adjusted that. You know, it may have been less than a millimeter. I mean, it was just a fraction.
Just enough.
Yeah, just enough to keep the gear door from engaging.
All right, initial rig has been completed. So what we got here?
So we're going to read through the procedure here and make sure that we're all on the same page before we start making any noise or hooking things up or moving things. So we've gotten down past the shimming point here, and what we ended up having to do was when we tried to shim by the book, we ended up with extra play that we didn't anticipate. So we compared over to the left side of the door, and we went as similar to the left side as we could to get the play out of it. So we went a little bit tall with the shims. So if anything, the door hangs down a little too much, which then we can remove, as opposed to having it suck up too tight and damage something. So if anything, we may have to remove a couple, but from what I'm seeing here, we're at this point in the procedure. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna disconnect the outboard drive door drive link from the strut.
That's that, or yeah, that.
Then we're going to remove the speed brake, main landing gear down locks, check to make sure the inboard door is locked. There's a hole on the arm where we'll pin it out on the inboard door.
Oh, so that will stay out?
Yes. So you see, because we need to check our clearances and stuff in here, and so we don't want this door closing on us.
Right.
So there's a pin that'll go in here, and that'll hold this door open while we're doing all this.
Forces it to stay shut or open.
Exactly. So once we have that pinned, oh, sorry, bub.
You're fine.
Once we have that pinned out, the mule, which is this is where you come in.
Right.
It says a minimum flow rate of 9 gallons per minute.
Easily accomplished.
Okay, and that's going to help us avoid any damage as we're going up and down here. We're going to bring hydraulic power, external power on. We're going to retract the speed brakes. We're going to slowly bring the gear in, and we're going to check for clearances around the door to prevent damage. Strut door should not meet the mold line and shall not meet wheel well opening. We're going to be checking for 0.06 of an inch minimum clearance between the door hard points, 24, and the wing structure as the door moves inside the mold line. We are installing a new door, so there may be some additional adjustment, horizontal and vertical required. That'll include messing with our eccentric bushing to help move the door around if we need to. So we're just going to have to kind of get the first swing done here and see where we're at, and then if we need to adjust, we will. Up and down and forward and back adjustment will be done on the door itself. From what I'm seeing here, our in and out adjustment will mostly be done with the pads.
With the little shims?
Yeah, the actual pads, the shims on the pads, not the shims on the door.
Little pads? These?
These.
Oh, okay.
So,
because it rests against that.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So once we get our first cycle done here, we'll kind of see how everything looks, and then we'll figure out what we need to adjust from there.
Got it.
Everybody good? Okay, so since we're about to start messing with fluid and power and noise and everything else, we need to get everybody together who's going to be a part of this.
Ready?
Hydraulic mule running. We're going to have the power cart running. There's going to be a lot of noise in here. You're not going to be able to just talk with each other, okay? So we need to remember our safety areas. While we're swinging the gear, there is no reason to be under the airplane. We're going to call everybody out. And once the gears start moving, do not go under the airplane. I don't care what happens. If there's a fire, and just get out of the hangar, no matter what happens. Do not go under the airplane while the gear is moving, okay? Once we get the gear to a point where we're going to stop and check things, and someone tells you, okay, come under here, look at this, because we're going to show you guys some stuff so you can learn what's going on and everything. So, but just don't do anything until you're told. Don't react if the hose blows off. There's no reason to panic and do anything right now. If something like that happens, Jamie's just going to back off the pressure on the mule, and we're going to just slowly address the problem, okay? So that's first thing, is just don't be under the airplane while anything's moving. Do what you're told, when you're told, and we'll keep you guys safe, and that'll be fine. From a power standpoint, okay, we're going to move the NC8 over here so we don't have exhaust blowing into the hangar, and we'll run power off this side so we don't have power and hydraulic lines crossing and all that good stuff. Jamie's going to be on the mule. We're going to try, do we have a dual cord?
Like for headset?
Yeah, for headsets.
Maybe.
Okay. What I'm going to try to do, whoever's in the cockpit's going to be on a headset, and you on the mule are going to be on a headset.
Okay.
And then you and I will be in direct communication. If we have a dual cord, then we'll both be on headset. We'll just see how we figure that out. But so we'll be coordinating movements. Whoever's going to be in the cockpit, I'm guessing whoever. Once we give you the call to lower the gear, you lower the gear, you put your hands on the canopy rail, okay? And you do not put your hands back in the cockpit until you're told to do so.
Okay.
Everybody understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Once people under the airplane, after you've done what you need to do, get your hands out of the cockpit. That way we have 100% certainty that you're not going to hit anything because your hands aren't in the cockpit.
Yeah.
You on the mule, because you can see them, you're going to be verifying that their hands are out of the cockpit, and you also have control of the hydraulic power.
Right.
So you're the second safety check on that to make sure that we don't have anything going on.
Got it.
So first safety step is nobody's going to be under the airplane while we're moving things. Second safety step is hands out of the cockpit. Third is you're going to be verifying that. So we shouldn't have any reason for anybody to get hurt doing anything here, okay? If anybody sees anything that they think is a problem, call a safety stop. Anybody here can call a safety stop. I don't care, it's your first day. You see something, you're like, wait, that doesn't look right. Call a safety stop.
Safety stop.
And just hands up,
Okay.
To him or to me or to the guy in the cockpit. Just get somebody's attention, hey, and we'll slow down, we'll stop, we'll figure out, do we need to shut everything down and address this? Or is it just something we need to tell you, oh no, that's normal, you know. But anybody sees anything, call a safety stop. We're gonna stop for a minute. We're gonna make sure we're safe to proceed. Any questions on any of that? Anybody wanna add anything?
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. All right, let's do this. Let's see if we can get this figured out. Let's have some fun. Let's not get hurt. And yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, here we are in the Wizzle's cockpit, and before we really get started, I'm pulling a few breakers out. We're disabling the pneumatic compressor that is on the utility hydraulic system, because with an air leak, we don't want that compressor running continuously. So that is pulled so that system can't activate despite having hydraulic pressure and electrical power on the jet. And then since the landing gear is off the ground, all the scissor switches are in the weight off wheel state, and that activates some of the heaters around the aircraft for the various probes. So airspeed pitot probe, that's pulled, angle of attack probe heater power, and the bell mouth pitot heater. All of these are getting pulled so that because whenever the aircraft in normal use would take off from the ground, the weight comes off of the wheels, and that activates a lot of these systems. Well, since this thing isn't flying through the air, a lot of these heaters, they would activate and they would quickly overheat on the ground because there's no cooling air going over them. So we're going to disable all of these so we don't have an overheat on any of the probes, or possibly burn those out and warrant them getting replaced. So something else we want to avoid. So that's what I'm doing back here. All right, now in the spirit of getting these probes knocked out, I get to take you guys down the tail. Yeah, this is just as fun as it looks.
We couldn't want doing that, and that's why ever since then I'm like, yeah.
Okay, because last thing we want is, despite pulling all the breakers for that, we don't want any of these getting cooked. So that is airspeed on D model and older Phantom. So if you ever see two probes on the vertical stab, the upper one is the pitot. This is the bellows intake. Every Phantom had this one. Not all of them had the second one up there. So on E model and newer, that moved to the nose, right at the very front tip of the radome. So now to slowly and carefully turn around and walk back. And yeah, I'm kind of up there. Awesome. So we got it all set up right now. I'm about to fire up the hydraulic mule, get it warming up. We got the power set up. We got everybody briefed up. We're getting ready to do this. Swing some gear and get this door rigged. Okay, here we go. right, I need 2 hands.
And we can get out of the way. Yeah.
I would say it's not exactly easy to get the hinge off on this door either.
No, it's a pain in the ass. Trying to back these screws here. Yeah.
Probably pull like 2 washers out of this one.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll suck the back end a little bit. And then what about the front leading edge? Lower the front leading edge?
Well, I'm of the opinion to make one adjustment at a time. So let's make this back adjustment, and then
Because if the back sinks in further, this is going to pop out probably just a little bit more.
it could, and then we'll know if we need to pop 1 or 2 out of here.
So how was the actual alignment was fine, it's just the angle is slightly off?
Yeah, the alignment looked good. Our fore and aft and our inward
Lateral?
outboard, that all looked good. Everything looked like it lined up fine there. We just had a little bit of a lip here, and we had a little bit of a lip back here in the back.
Okay.
So we're going to remove a few shims, and we're going to try to get that evened out and get that gap out of there.
Nice.
Get everything to seat nice and flush. But
And then we had that transition barber pull because this wasn't hooked up, right?
this one,
Yeah.
That one, okay.
Yeah.
Because the pin switch is right, it's...
Forward. All right.
So,
right here.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
First gear up, it was barber pull in the right name.
Yeah, just because this is pinned open.
Yeah. But then came down there all 3.
once we get the rig right, we'll do a few swings at full
Yeah.
pressure, and with
Okay.
this unpinned, and we'll see, hopefully see normal indications.
Yeah.
Full flow, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, full flow, and I said full pressure, full flow, and we'll make it happen.
oh yeah,
Okay,
nice.
cool. Well, that could have gone a lot worse. Let's,
Oh, I mean, as far as like the rigging, yeah, but that's, you said pretty damn close.
yeah, I mean, that's what I was telling him. I said, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, for eyeballing it,
Yeah.
it's damn near.
Yeah. I mean, the book gets us right in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's for a brand new strut, and and the shims weren't kept in order and everything. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah,
right.
nice.
Well, let's do some adjustments and make some more noise here.
Let's do it. All right, another good swing. We're even closer, so they're making some more adjustments to the door, and we're going to swing it a third time and see what we get.
Right, exactly, yeah.
All right, Diesel here from the editing room. So for those that are observant, you guys may be noticing that the gear is transiting a lot slower than it normally would be. And this is intentional. We have the hydraulic cart set at 3000 psi like it's supposed to be at. The flow rate dialed back a lot because we want the gear to transit a lot slower. And this is per that rigging manual that we had out earlier. Later on, we will bring in the flow back to its normal servicing rate at 15 gallons per minute, and you guys will get to see the normal swings at full flow, full pressure. We're almost there. Backside of the door is perfect. Front side is just slightly out, so we got one more set of shims to adjust, and I think we got it. We got it. Oh, feels good. Great success. So fourth time is the charm, but we got it, and the doors are in alignment and they completely close like they're supposed to. That's a big hurdle for us right now, and I had a pretty damn good crew today to help take care of this. So my son operating the power cart, our new volunteer helping out with the controls up in the cockpit, and all of us down on the ground to make it happen. Great success. This is awesome. Alrighty guys, that was a fantastic day. That was a huge step for us, so getting that right main all squared away. And then towards the end there, as we dialed back the flow rate on the hydraulic mule just for the testing earlier for the gear rig. That was what was called for in the book. It's like, hey, dial back on the flow rate so the gears don't transit like they normally would. And then towards the end there, put it back to normal servicing flow rate, which is about 15 gallons per minute. And then you guys got to see the full gear swing with all three coming down like they're supposed to. All three would indicate down and locked in the cockpit as well as up and locked in the cockpit when they would transit, especially once we unpinned that inner door on the right main. So, because that's the last step in when the gear comes up, is the inner door would close. That's got the switch in it that would indicate up and locked in the cockpit. So great day for us. Next week I got to deal with that right main tire. We're gonna pull that off so we can send that off to the tire shop and deal with that. So yeah, it's lost another 30 pounds since last week. So yep, wheels coming off. So that's next week's job, is to take care of that. We had earlier up in this cockpit, the shuttle valve is almost out again. We're in the process of taking that out so we can go through the entire thing and verify all the seals, replace as necessary, and get that thing serviceable again for us. So that's what we got going on. So that was a huge step for us with the gear swings. We got the door rigged. The book got us like really close to start with, which was awesome. We only needed some minor adjustments from there, and we got it. So that was awesome. Great day's worth of work. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.